7. Silent signs of a stroke you should never ignore. After the age of 60, our bodies begin to whisper warning subtle messages that something might be wrong. But when it comes to stroke, those whispers can quickly turn into a life-altering storm. Every 40 seconds, someone in the United States has a stroke. And for older adults, especially those over 60, the risk is significantly higher. Yet, many people ignore or misinterpret the earliest signs because they're not always dramatic. They're silent. In this video, we'll explore 7 silent signs of a stroke you should never ignore, signs that could save your life or the life of someone you love. Let's begin with a powerful story. Meet Mr. Robert Thompson. He was 68, healthy, retired, and living a peaceful life in Arizona. He walked every morning, ate his vegetables, and even played pickleball with his neighbors twice a week. But one afternoon, while reading the newspaper, he noticed something odd. His vision in one eye became blurry just for a few minutes. He blinked. It cleared up. He shrugged it off. No pain, no headache, just a momentary blur. A week later, while tying his shoes, he felt a strange numbness in his left hand. Again, it passed quickly. Just getting older, he thought. But 2 days later, he collapsed in the kitchen. The diagnosis: a major stroke. The warning signs had been there, but they were quiet, fleeting, easy to dismiss. Sudden vision changes, especially in one eye. A stroke doesn't always start with slurred speech or facial drooping. Sometimes it begins in the eyes. Sudden blurry vision, double vision, or temporary blindness in one eye can be an early warning. This happens when the part of the brain responsible for processing vision is deprived of oxygen even briefly. Most people blame it on fatigue, dry eyes, or just aging. But if your vision suddenly shifts and then clears up, especially on just one side, it could mean a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke that often precedes a larger one. If you or someone you love experiences this, don't wait. Seek medical help immediately. Sudden confusion or trouble finding words. Imagine trying to speak, and the words just won't come. Or you speak, but the words sound jumbled. Sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or struggling to understand what others are saying can be early indicators of a stroke, especially if they appear without warning and then disappear within minutes. Many stroke survivors describe this moment like being stuck in a fog, aware something's wrong but unable to express it. And because it might last just a few seconds or minutes, people often think it's a senior moment. But this type of confusion is neurological, not just forgetfulness. Numbness or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side. One of the classic but often underestimated signs of a stroke is weakness or numbness on one side of the body. But here's the catch: it may not feel extreme. You might simply notice one leg feels heavy, or one arm doesn't grip quite right. You might smile in the mirror and notice your smile looks a bit uneven. These signs might appear for a few seconds, then vanish. But they're not to be ignored. They're your body waving a red flag quietly but urgently. Try raising both arms. If one arm drifts down or feels weaker, call 911 immediately. Dizziness or loss of balance without explanation. Dizziness happens. We all get up too fast sometimes or forget to eat. But if you're suddenly off balance, stumbling, or feeling like the room is spinning without a clear reason, it could be neurological. The cerebellum, the part of your brain that controls balance and coordination, can be affected during a stroke. When blood flow is blocked there, you may feel dizzy, nauseated, or unable to walk straight. This type of dizziness is often dismissed as just dehydration or vertigo, but in older adults, it should be treated with serious caution. Sudden, unexplained fatigue. We all get tired, especially as we age. But what if your exhaustion is different? What if it strikes suddenly, with no clear reason? Extreme fatigue, out of nowhere, can be an early warning sign of a stroke, particularly in women over 60. You might feel completely drained, too tired to stand, speak, or stay awake. This isn't the tiredness from a bad night's sleep or a long day. It's a deeper kind of exhaustion, like your body is shutting down from the inside. Why does it happen? When your brain doesn't get enough oxygen-rich blood due to a clot or blockage, it can trigger an overwhelming response, your body's way of saying, something's not right. Sadly, this sign is often dismissed. I just need a nap, people say. But if this kind of fatigue strikes suddenly and you feel disconnected, sluggish, or even slightly confused, it's time to take it seriously. Chest pain, or a racing heart, that isn't a heart attack. Chest pain or a racing heart doesn't always mean a heart attack. In some cases, especially in people over 60, it could be a warning sign of a stroke. Atrial fibrillation, or AFib, is a common condition in older adults where the heart beats irregularly. It often goes unnoticed, but it dramatically increases stroke risk. If your heart suddenly feels like it's fluttering, pounding, or skipping beats, especially while you're at rest, your brain might be at risk. Why? AFib can lead to the formation of blood clots in the heart. If one travels to the brain, it can block blood flow and trigger a stroke within minutes. This is one of the most silent and deadly pathways to a stroke. And here's the challenge. Many people with AFib feel nothing at all. Others report occasional palpitations or light chest pressure, which comes and goes. If you've noticed these patterns, or if your heart feels off, even without pain jet checked, don't wait. Sudden trouble swallowing, or speaking clearly. Let's say you're drinking water, and it suddenly goes down the wrong pipe. You cough. You clear your throat. It happens again the next day. Or maybe your speech feels slurred, even though your tongue and lips feel fine. These might sound like small things, but trouble swallowing, speaking, or even chewing can all point to a stroke in progress. These functions are controlled by the lower part of the brain, the brainstem, and when it's affected by a stroke, the signals to muscles in your throat and mouth become scrambled. A stroke in this area can be particularly dangerous and often goes undetected for too long. How to recognize and react to a stroke. Now that you know the 7 silent signs, let's talk about what to do if you notice them in yourself or someone else. Use the acronym FAST. It could save a life. F. Face drooping. Ask the person to smile. Is one side uneven? A. Arm weakness. Ask them to raise both arms. Does one drift downward? S. Speech difficulty. Ask them to repeat a simple phrase. Is the speech slurred or strange? T. Time to call 911. If you notice any of these signs 7 for a moment, don't wait. Remember, time lost is brain lost. Every minute during a stroke, the brain loses about 2 million neurons. Quick action can dramatically reduce long-term damage and even prevent death. You have more power than you think. Stroke is serious. It can change lives in an instant, but there's hope, real, tangible hope. The brain has an amazing ability to recover, and the earlier the stroke is caught, the more successful recovery can be. Countless survivors go on to live fulfilling, independent lives, especially those who acted quickly and sought treatment in time. So here's the takeaway. Don't ignore what feels small. Don't chalk things up to just getting older. Know your body. Trust your instincts. Speak up if something doesn't feel right. And always, always pay attention to the whispers. The 7 silent signs of stroke. Let's recap the 7 silent signs of stroke. 1. Sudden vision changes, especially in one eye. 2. Sudden confusion or trouble speaking. 3. Numbness or weakness on one side. 4. dizziness, or loss of balance. 5. Sudden, unexplained fatigue. 6. Chest pain or irregular heartbeat. 7. Trouble swallowing or slurred speech. If you or a loved one experiences any of this even for a moment, don't wait. Seek medical help immediately. You might just prevent the stroke before it happens, or stop it before it steals more than it has to. Your brain, your life, your power. After 60, life should be about enjoying your days, your family, and your passions, not living in fear. But awareness is power, and with the knowledge you now have, you're in a better position than ever to protect your brain, your independence, and your life. Share this video with someone you care about. It could be the most important message they hear today. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay alert, and stay hopeful.